Welcome to Concept with Justin. Today, we're diving into a world where nature meets artistry, where every curve and line tells a story, and where the future of landscape design unfolds before our eyes. I'm Justin, and in this journey through 2025's most captivating garden trends, we'll explore how symmetry and fluidity are reshaping our outdoor spaces. Picture this: a morning mist gently lifting to reveal a garden where sculptured evergreens stand like living statues, their forms precise yet organic, casting ethereal shadows across beds of carefully selected river stones. This isn't just any garden, this is the future of landscape design. The symmetry in modern garden design isn't about rigid repetition, it's about creating balance that feels both intentional and effortless. On either side of our central axis, matching beds of ornamental grasses sway in perfect harmony, their silver-tipped plumes catching the light like thousands of tiny mirrors. But look closer, and you'll notice subtle variations that keep the eye engaged and the mind intrigued. Water features have evolved beyond traditional fountains. We're seeing the emergence of precisely engineered water channels that follow geometric patterns, suddenly breaking free into naturalistic pools. The sound design is as carefully considered as the visual elements, creating different acoustic experiences as you move through the space. The marriage of hard and soft landscaping is reaching new levels of sophistication. Pathways of irregular stone slabs are set in gravel beds, their edges softened by creeping thyme and moss. The stones themselves tell a story, with carefully selected colors that complement both the architectural elements and the planted materials. Lighting design for 2025 is about creating drama and atmosphere while maintaining functionality. Solar-powered LEDs are integrated into the landscape, hidden during day but emerging at dusk to create layers of illumination. Uplighting through sculptured trees creates dramatic shadows, while path lighting appears to float like fireflies among the ground cover. Modern fencing has become an art form in itself. Gone are the days of simple privacy screens. Today's boundaries are living walls where carefully selected climbers weave through architectural frameworks, creating patterns that change with the seasons. The interplay of light and shadow through these structures adds another dimension to the garden's design. The lawn is no longer just a green carpet, but a sculptural element in its own right. Different mowing heights create subtle patterns, while curved edges flow into planted borders with mathematical precision. We're seeing the introduction of drought-resistant grass varieties that maintain their beauty with minimal water consumption. Color psychology plays a crucial role in modern garden design. Cool blues and silvers dominate the palette, punctuated by carefully chosen accent colors that guide the eye through the space. The plant selection creates a progression of color throughout the year, ensuring the garden remains dynamic and engaging in every season. Vertical elements are being used to create rooms within the garden, with trained fruit trees forming living walls alongside contemporary trellis structures. These green architectonic elements provide privacy while maintaining a sense of openness and flow. The integration of technology is subtle but significant. Smart irrigation systems respond to real-time weather data, while soil sensors monitor nutrient levels. Yet these high-tech elements are invisible to the casual observer, maintaining the garden's serene and natural appearance. Sustainability isn't just a buzzword, it's fundamental to modern garden design. Every element serves multiple purposes. Permeable surfaces manage water runoff, plant selections support local wildlife, and materials are chosen for their environmental credentials as much as their aesthetic appeal. As we move through the space, notice how each view has been carefully composed. Every turn reveals a new perspective, every path leads to a carefully considered destination. This is landscape design that engages all the senses, from the subtle fragrance of herbs to the gentle rustle of bamboo in the breeze. The success of these designs lies in their ability to appear effortless while being meticulously planned. Every sight line, every plant grouping, every change in level has been considered not just from an aesthetic perspective but from a practical and ecological standpoint as well. Vertical gardening has reached new heights of sophistication. Living walls now incorporate multiple plant species that create complex patterns, changing their appearance throughout the growing season. These aren't just decorative elements. They're engineered systems that contribute to building temperature regulation and air purification while providing habitats for beneficial insects and birds. The concept of seasonal interest has been completely reimagined. Gardens are now designed to create dramatic effects even in winter. Deciduous trees with interesting bark patterns are positioned to catch low winter sun, while evergreen topiary provides strong architectural forms that look spectacular under frost or snow. The placement of these elements is carefully calculated to maximize their impact during specific times of the year. Water management has become increasingly critical in garden design. The integration of bioswales and rain gardens isn't just practical, it's an opportunity for creative expression. These functional elements are designed to create beautiful, naturalistic waterways during rain events, transforming from dry creek beds to flowing streams as weather conditions change. The use of color in hardscaping materials has become more nuanced. Instead of uniform surfaces, we're seeing subtle gradients in paving materials that guide movement through the space. These color transitions are so subtle that they're barely noticeable at first glance, but they subconsciously influence how people move through the garden. Lighting design has evolved to include programmable systems that create different moods throughout the evening. Color-changing LED fixtures are used with restraint, creating subtle shifts in atmosphere that complement the natural cycle of twilight and darkness. The goal is to extend the usability of outdoor spaces while respecting the natural rhythm of day and night. The integration of edible plants into ornamental designs has reached new levels of sophistication. Fruit trees are trained into elegant forms that serve both aesthetic and productive purposes. Herbs are used as geometric ground cover, creating patterns that are both beautiful and functional. The distinction between ornamental and productive gardens has effectively disappeared. The concept of garden rooms has evolved to include transition zones that blur the boundaries between spaces. These areas use changes in material, plant density, and height to create subtle thresholds that guide visitors from one garden experience to another. The effect is similar to a well-composed piece of music, with themes that flow seamlessly into one another. Maintenance considerations have influenced design in interesting ways. Plants are grouped not just by water needs and sun exposure, but by maintenance timing, creating efficiency for garden care while maintaining aesthetic appeal. This practical consideration has led to new ways of thinking about plant combinations and garden structure. The use of negative space has become more deliberate. Empty areas are carefully planned to create visual rest points and to emphasize the sculptural qualities of nearby plantings. These spaces are not truly empty but are designed to draw attention to the sky, creating a connection between the garden and the broader landscape. Climate resilience has become a key driver of design decisions. Plants are selected not just for their current suitability but for their ability to thrive in predicted future conditions. This forward-thinking approach has led to exciting new plant combinations that maintain traditional design principles while preparing for environmental change. The role of art in the garden has expanded to include interactive elements. Motion sensors trigger subtle changes in lighting or water features as visitors move through the space. These interactions are designed to be gentle and surprising, creating moments of delight without becoming gimmicky or overwhelming. Storage solutions have been reimagined as design features. Rather than trying to hide necessary garden equipment, designers are creating beautiful structures that serve multiple purposes. Tool storage becomes a green-roofed focal point, while compost bins are integrated into decorative screening elements. As we continue to explore these gardens, we find that every detail has been considered not just for its immediate impact but for how it will evolve over time. These are spaces designed to mature and develop, becoming richer and more complex with each passing season. The future of landscape design is not just about creating beautiful spaces. It's about creating resilient, sustainable environments that enhance our connection with nature while meeting the practical needs of modern life. These gardens represent a perfect balance between human intervention and natural processes, between formal design and organic growth. The role of water in modern gardens has evolved beyond aesthetic pleasure. Smart water features now incorporate advanced filtration systems that support complex aquatic ecosystems. These systems can transition from ornamental pools to natural swimming ponds, with planted zones that filter water naturally while creating stunning visual effects. Gardens are now designed in layers, with each vertical zone serving multiple purposes. Ground-level plantings give way to mid-height architectural elements, which in turn support climbing species that create living curtains. Above these, canopy layers provide shade and create opportunities for elevated walkways and viewing platforms. The integration of productive elements has become more nuanced. Fruit trees are no longer relegated to orchards but are incorporated into formal designs as living sculptures. Espaliered forms create geometric patterns against walls, while step-over fruit trees form elegant low borders. These productive elements are chosen not just for their yield but for their architectural qualities throughout the year. Climate moderation has become a central focus of garden design. The strategic placement of water features, the careful manipulation of air flow through the garden, and the creation of microclimate zones allow these spaces to naturally regulate temperature. This passive climate control extends the usability of outdoor spaces while reducing energy consumption. If you've enjoyed this comprehensive look at the future of landscape design, please remember to subscribe to Concept with Justin.